I'm Colin Murray, and after a truncated last season for reasons that none of us could have predicted, Leagues 1 and 2 are about to return. And in terms of League 2, well, how much experience can you have in two people to talk through the season ahead? To be fair, my maths isn't good enough to add up the amount of years of experience that I'm looking at now. But we got the new Barrow gaffer, David Dunn, joins us. Hi, David.
How you doing, Colin? You okay?
Thanks for asking. Really good, mate. And we have, in my opinion, an absolute EFL legend in Ian Henderson. Hi, Ian.
Hey, Colin. How you doing?
I like to refer to you as the original Hendo, a bit like, you know, we had the original Ronaldo. I think it's really important just to let the other Hendo know that you were here first, right?
You're too kind. I'd love to be put into his bracket, but I'm a million miles away from the original Ronaldo.
Listen, David, it's a weird situation, isn't it? Because in the modern day life of a manager, which is roughly about the same length as a housefly, it's taken over from a successful manager is less and less common, and obviously that's exactly what's happened with Ian leaving for Bolton. You're coming into a club that's really on its uppers right now. How strange is that as a you know, to sit in that seat you're sitting now, knowing that hey, nothing was wrong here?
Yeah, no, it's been really good, really. You know, I've really enjoyed my first 5 or 6 weeks in charge, and quite rightly you say, you know, Ian's did a tremendous job last season in getting the club promoted, which will be the first time in 48 years that the club's been in the English league. So you know, really looking forward to and can't wait to get going now.
Does it feel like, because it'd be very easy to misread your history after playing football in terms of the coaching, in terms of course, a short stint in management. But does this really feel like your first proper go?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think, you know, I've been on record before saying, you know, at Oldham was a player manager role, which was, as everyone knows, is management roles tough to start with, but when you're trying to combine that with playing as well, you know, it's I felt it was almost impossible, you know. And again, I was really inexperienced, and I certainly think I'm ready. I'm ready for the challenge ahead now.
And who you've played under, I mean, it's quite a list actually, you know, whether it be Allardyce or Hughes or Souness, I think. Yes, Souness and Steve Bruce, and the list goes on. Any of them that you've given a call to over the last month, or is any of those relationships have endured to that point where you'd still ring up and go, Gaffer, got a quick question about this?
Do you know what? I've not spoke to him in the last 5 weeks, but I have. You know, I've been recently in touch with Graham Souness, Sam Allardyce. You know, certainly in the last 6 months, a year. So, as I've said, I'm sure if I needed any advice off them, then I'm sure they'd be more than happy to put me in the right direction.
As a player, you were dedicated, but you were known for a prank. Is there an hypocrisy that comes with when you take the manager's job? Do you think because you know all the pranks that makes you actually more strict, or are you employing a look, when that dressing room door's closed, I'll leave you players to be in charge?
A little bit, yeah. I love characters. I think it's you know, I think football needs characters. Remember, you know, if you're playing on a Saturday, you want big characters that are going to go out and perform for you. So you can't just switch that on and off. You know, you need to put up with them all week, really, to know that they can produce for you on a Saturday. So yeah, I love characters, but again, there's going to be a time where we're there to work, and then that's when it's serious.
You hit a really important point. You talk about needing those characters on a Saturday. None more so in the EFL than in League 2, where even now, preparing to play Grimsby, forget it, because they haven't got their squad together yet. You know, and Ian Holloway's on the phone here, there, and everywhere, still sorting things out. That's happening at every single club on a normal season, let alone this one. So the character is important. Does that change Barrow? Because Barcelona was what many people referred to them last year. Some of the football they played was absolutely tremendous. you can play that in League Two. You can play good football, but I think, is there more of a balance needed when you get into the EFL?
Well, do you know what? I'm a big believer in being really good at what we're going to do, because you quite rightly say, we don't know what the other teams are going to do. We've got the pre-season friendly footage, and as we all know, that can change from game to game, and trying to get as many minutes in the players as other teams can, like ourselves. So as long as we can concentrate and try and be as good as we can be, I think that'll stand us in good stead. Can only control what we do.
Yeah, you did a decent bit of business as well so far, but it's interesting because it's been almost more of a project manager role as well as a team manager, hasn't it? Because improvements needed to the ground, of course, because the rules and regulations change when you get into the EFL. Not the only club in that situation, Harrogate Town is as well. So coming in, as it felt like a more of a 360 role in terms of, looking after the club in different ways. Now, I'm not saying you're building the stand yourself. I'm just, you're not doing the roof yourself. I know the hard hat's not coming out, but a lot more on your plate, I'd imagine.
No, it's been good to get involved and see the progression that the club want to make. Obviously, when I walked through the door, we had 10 players. So there's been quite a lot of time spent on recruitment. I feel like we've got some really good players in the building now. So hopefully we can get a couple more in, and that should do us then.
So what's the expectation level? Where are you setting it? And it's almost impossible at the moment to sort of give the fans too much hope or bring them too much, to ground them too much, because there's so much unpredictability going into this season.
Yeah, again, the club are on riding the crest of a wave at the minute. So, in terms of momentum, it's a little bit false because of the gap that, because of the virus. So the momentum kind of has gone a little bit because we've not, it's took so long to get back to competitive football. But, certainly myself, I want to be competitive. I think if we're competitive, then I think that's where we should pitch ourselves.
Well, listen, I'll do your work in Salford City right now. You don't have to watch too many of the tapes. Just that man there, Ian Henderson. It still sounds weird though, Hendo. Still sounds weird. Salford City's Ian Henderson. Have you got your head round that even? Have you got your head round that yet?
It took a little bit of time to get around to it, but I call it ships in the night, and Dunny will say the same thing as well. As soon as we're there, we're gone before you know it. But it's on to pastures new, and I'm excited to be a part of a really, really exciting project at Salford City. Signed there for the next couple of years, and the ambition is to help the club create success. It's been documented widely through the owners of the football club and the manager and all of the players that have came in, that they want success, and that they're putting the money where the mouth is too. So, it's going to be an exciting season moving through. But again, it's been such a long layoff with the coronavirus. I think it's a level playing field at the moment with regards to everything, because squads have not even been built properly by managers, and it's going to be interesting going into the first couple of weeks of the season to see how kind of the dimensions of groups of teams change, and the personnel from within them. But it's going to be an interesting season, to say the least.
And some things at Salford City as you walked in would have been a mile different than what they were. First of all, the expectations high. First of all, the confidence is high. It's a club that is expecting to go places, regardless of the scenario this season. It's also a bit younger as well. What's the whole feel day to day at Salford City?
I think it's really important to put upon people. Granted, there may be expectations, but the expectations will only ever come through doing the simple, basic fundamentals day in, day out. And that is hard work on the training pitch and pushing it into like the match scenarios in the competitive fixtures. And kind of, you can use all of these superlatives on the planet, like getting promoted from League Two to League One takes hard work, grinding Saturday, Tuesday, and kind of picking up the necessary points to get promoted. And yeah, I'm a huge believer in kind of that philosophy of hard work and doing the basic fundamentals. And I know the management team are as well at Salford. So yeah, there may be some form of let's call it stigma around the football club that it wants to get promoted, but there's a way that we are going to be able to get promoted, and that's through that grit, that determination. And again, I'll use it is hard work and doing the basic fundamentals over and over.
And that is, of course, the thing. Is that what Graham Alexander tries to keep the squad focused on, which is just the day to day? Because there you are, flip flopping with Bolton Wanderers as favourites to go up, and you either have to neglect that tag or you have to be able to shoulder it.
Definitely, you've got to own it if the expectations are that high. But you're only ever going to be able to own it through competing week in, week out, and winning football matches, because we are in such a cutthroat business where winning and losing is all what it's about, and we want to win more games than not. So the more games that we're going to win, the more points we're going to accumulate, and the further we're going to be able to take this football team.
Individual target for this season, League 2 with Salford City. What are you setting yourself as a target goals wise?
I'll always keep those close to my chest. It's not for me. It's not about like the individual accolades. It's about the team, and I don't say that flippantly either. If I can be a part of helping the team create success, and that's the most important thing for me, and also helping the younger players evolve and develop within the football team as well. I take pride in that. 20
it is then. That's what I heard, 20. And how many against Barrow would you be aiming for? Because you were telling me just before you were coming on the call, you were expecting at least a hat-trick. You were saying something about the manager, no worries. Yeah, is that something like that, was it?
0.
I'll remember this chat, I'll remember this chat when you're supposed to walk out at 3 p.m. Thank you so much. Listen, I know the season is what it is. It's the perspective of everything that's going on. But look, first of all, going to be great to see you guys back in the pitch, hopefully in October, to see fans back in the stands in some form of normality. It's important as much to the community as it is to anything. It's not just about league position and points. It's about so much more than that. Something we've taken for granted too much is that community. So, great to see you back. All your hard work is about so much more than just what happens on the pitch. So thank you very much, and good luck with the season ahead.
Thanks, Colin.
Thank you.